to read. So set aside some time to read together and help your child achieve and succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Family Hour. Brought to you by American Senior Benefits on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Todd Riley and Jay Stoll.
Good morning. Welcome to another great day. Changes in the air. Excitement is up. Todd Riley, Jay Stoll. Mark is man of the machine today. This is the American Senior Benefits Family Hour. If you want to chime in, give us a call the Honda Lincoln Hotline, 402-464-5685. Or you can find us on the Sutter Heyman text line. Lots of things going on, Todd. Lots of things going on. I don't know even what we talk about. Is there anything of topic of conversation that might gauge people's interest? You know,
TCU is still undefeated. Is that
TCU is still there? That is correct. TCU is still there.
Beat the powerhouse that is Iowa State.
We were just talking the dirty, evil empire that is still there, Alabama. They might weasel their way back into the college football playoff. And things got to happen. But we were just looking at this just now. If I was to give you 4 teams for a college football playoff, I would say, okay, Michigan would be the 1, Georgia 2, TCU 3, USC 4. So Michigan versus USC would be a great matchup. Georgia, TCU, meh, right?
Yeah.
We kind of like traditional powerhouses. So what happens if this happens? Kansas State shows up and does TCU wrong. Okay. Now all of a sudden you have Alabama, if they're put at the 5 seed, come on Tuesday when the rankings come out, they're put at the 5. You could very easily have a Michigan-Alabama game. Who would not want to see that?
It would be a heck of a game. Who did USC lose to this year?
Utah.
Oh, I wouldn't have come up. I would have lost that bet.
Utah, and that's who they play Saturday for the. It's Friday for the Pac-12 championship. But then you would have Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, USC. I think ratings would be very high for that.
With it probably being a Georgia, Michigan, then probably.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think USC is the hot flavor of the month. They are just starting to click on all cylinders. They showed physicality last night against Notre Dame, which was very impressive. Caleb Williams locked up the Heisman.
Yeah.
And once again, the mad magician we always call Les Miles. Well, that's Lincoln Riley now.
Yeah. Did you see the scrambling, though, that kid did?
I know.
Holy cow.
I know.
Now, granted, in the pros, they'd have smoked him by then, but he dodged in and out. Kid ran 200 yards before he ran 1 yard forward. It was fun. He was fun to watch. I'm not a fan by any means, but it was fun to watch.
Well, let's look at something, shall we? What the top four teams, right? We mentioned they have something in common with their quarterback. They have something in common with a quarterback, and I think that's what Nebraska hopefully can gear towards and veer towards. Is you have to have that quarterback that can be athletic, mobile, and run and scramble, and use him on RPOs. The Michigan game, handful of times. What's his name? Michigan's quarterback. Draw me blank. McCaffrey? No, that's Luke. McCarthy. JJ.
JJ, yeah.
JJ. Kid can run. I mean, they did some zone reruns for him. When he get out of the pocket, he could run and scramble, and he was fast. Michael Penix, Washington, fast.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, USC, fast. Bryce Young, Alabama, fast. You see where we're going with this here? TCU. Kid that just right across the road from Nebraska here, Duggan, fast. I truly, truly, truly believe if you want to be an elite football team, and I might get some drawback here, 75% of your production and your success has to come from your quarterback. 25% can come from your defense. If you flip it around, you have Iowa. You have 75% needs to come from the defense, and if they show up, great. But your quarterback's going to be a liability.
Yes, for them. That's for sure.
And Nebraska, marches into Kinnick Stadium, beloved Kinnick Stadium, and takes out Iowa in a very compelling, interesting, and dang it shouldn't have been interesting game.
They definitely out Iowa. It was like watching two separate teams. We were talking before the show here. Last 2 weeks we've talked about attitude is what needed to change, and whether the players for Nebraska knew that Mickey was gone, obviously, like everybody else in Nebraska sensed it. They said, this could be this guy's last game, and between their ears, I think they made a change. I mean, they came out, and I didn't expect Iowa to throw up 48 points because of who they are. Then their quarterback gets hurt. Not that is a huge detriment to Iowa, but their defense was just non-existent. It shocked me how much Nebraska just ran over them. But again, I think it started, like we said the last 2 weeks, I think it started between their ears. They said, this very well could be Mickey's last game as head coach. Let's do something. And man, they did. Mickey snapped a seven game streak of losses to Iowa that he snapped, an 11-game loss streak of trophy games that he snapped. I guess if you got to go out, that's a pretty good way to go out, Mickey.
They found out a way to finish.
Yeah,
they did. And I'm guilty to say, every Husker fan, I guarantee, is guilty to say, if they're not, they're lying. We were waiting for LSU to drop.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden it's 24-7, 24-14.
Yeah.
24-17. Oh, crap. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Dropped interception, Nebraska. Let's just give the game back to Iowa, shall we? And the fortitude, the toughness, like you said, the mentality of winning came through, and it was great to see. It was great to see. I see a lot of people that were talking, kind of bad about Anthony Grant. That dude right there, was toast as far as what he had for the season. I mean, he took pounding after pounding after pounding after pounding, beating after beating. You could see he lost a step from the beginning of the season to the end of the season just because he had no step left. I mean, if there was holes, he didn't trust his offensive line. If there wasn't holes, that's why he didn't trust his offensive line. So, it was good to see fresh legs Ramir I get in there. But I do hope, people are leaving and coming back next year. Anthony Grant is one that really thinks about it, looks at it, and sees great opportunity to come back for one more year.
I think that was a perfect win for Nebraska to end the season. And now with a new coach, again, what's your attitude between your ears? If they could have scripted a better springboard, I don't know what it would have been for next season. So I think that was a good way to wrap it up. That was their bowl game, was against Iowa, and they won it. That
was their bowl game, and hopefully it's the last time we say this in a very, very, very long time. Nebraska's defense, bend, don't break, right? Bend, don't break. A lot of Iowa folks were complaining that they didn't have their tight end Portier or whatever his name is, and their fullback. Last I checked, Nebraska didn't have two of their linebackers. They're starting safety. So things happen, right? You have to adjust. And Nebraska made those adjustments. The best thing I love was Kurt Ferenc put it out there basically saying he knew Nebraska, if they just hung around long enough, because they were talking about, why didn't you onside kick it when it was 24-17 and you had Nebraska on the ropes? And he said something to the effect of we knew who Nebraska was. We measured them up. We felt that, we can overtake them. They were going to Nebraska.
Right.
And it just didn't happen at all. So that was good to see. Buddy I talked to, I said, the biggest thing missing from Iowa and Wisconsin from being a top 10 national contender every year is their quarterback.
Yeah. It's hard, and I think of it too. If I'm a 5-star, 4-star quarterback somewhere, am I going to go to Iowa and hand off 3 plays out of the series? Am I going to go to Nebraska? Am I going to, or am I going to go to an Alabama or even a Florida or a Miami and just show everybody what I can do? I get it. I mean, it's Iowa struggled on offense, obviously, and Ferenc's son. They're pretty much calling for his head, but where's he going? Right, his dad's the coach.
No, he needs 5 more years staying in that position.
But no, you're exactly, and it is a tough. Maybe with the portal now, with things like that, in Iowa, although Iowa doesn't use it hardly. But in Nebraska can pull in a kid that maybe somebody overlooked, or maybe it's a Division II kid, or a local. Wouldn't that be nice? A kid from Kearney or something that pulls that out. That'd be pretty sweet. I will say Iowa does do a job of that. They can recruit from in-house pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know their one quarterback was from this little town of St. Ansgar, which was a team I played back in the Corn Bowl Conference from Nashua, Iowa. I'm trying to remember if we usually beat St. Ansgar. I think we did, but just shows you, there is talent there. Maybe it's not the 5-star to start with, but man, if you can dig deep, there's got to be a kid somewhere. There's a lot of colleges, but this is still Nebraska,
Well, the interesting thing with now let's transition over to the new coach. If anybody likes it, doesn't like it, it doesn't matter. It's been done. So now to Husker Nation, your reaction, you control it. Yeah. Your reaction, you do control that. Like I said, everything else has been figured out. So with Rule, the great thing is he has Texas ties. Now, some people say, do you still need Texas for the Big Ten? Absolutely. Yes, you do. Absolutely. But also he has a lot of Northeastern ties as well. And traditionally, Nebraska is not really good at going to the Indianas and the Ohios and the Pennsylvanias in recruiting. To have Rule, who's from that area, knows that area well, that can be a huge advantage for Nebraska's recruiting.
Well, and I think we mentioned that a week or two ago, again, since we're on Iowa this week, that was where Iowa did so well. You looked, a lot of those kids were from New Jersey. You're like, how did a New Jersey kid end up in the middle of America?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they recruited him. So yeah, anywhere you can draw from. Obviously, they've got Nebraska locked down. The kids grow up wanting to play here. Eastern Colorado kids, the Dakota kids. Although North Dakota State's no slouch, although they did lose in the first round there, which surprised me. But to be able to pull from a Texas, and that's where, again, Hayden Fry had the Texas connections and somehow an out east connection. So you're exactly right. There's a pool of kids there in an area the size of a county in Nebraska that has 200 more kids, 2 times more kids to draw from. So it can't do anything but help.
No, absolutely. And like I said, change need to be made, and it was. Auburn, Colorado, Kentucky, everybody is looking for their coach, their guy. And the nice thing is Nebraska has theirs. Yeah. We went out, we established Trev went out, established who he wanted, and picked him up. And for people who are kind of upset about that, realize we're the same people that said, what the heck are you doing giving Mickey the interim job when you fire Frost when you have Whipple? Yeah. A lot of people didn't trust Trev with doing that, and it turned out pretty well. So for Husker folks, I'd say just sit back, let Trev do his thing. He truly, truly cares about Nebraska. You want someone that loves the program more than you, and I don't think we've had that in the AD position in a very, very long time.
We got a phone call coming in on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Let's head to Mike. Mike, what's up?
Morning, guys. Hey, I love what you're saying about, it's time for everyone to get behind the hire. Twitter is a terrible barometer of trying to figure out what the average fan feels. That's just a cesspool, but there's a lot of people complaining and accusations made. And, the guy I originally wanted didn't get hired, but I said 6 weeks ago, whoever we hire, everybody needs to get behind. Because in my mind, one of the reasons, and there's a lot, but one of the reasons we got behind into this mess is the athletic department, the coaching staff, and the administration back in the early 2000s weren't on the same page. And that's important at any place, but especially at Nebraska. And man, I couldn't respect Mickey Joseph any more than I do. He did a tremendous job. But if you look at his resume versus Matt Rule, if you took the names off, it's not even comparable. And I guess I just love that you guys are telling everyone, and I think they need to just get behind the coach. We'll see what happens. I'm not drinking any Kool-Aid, but let's see what happens, because if we're all going to pull in different directions, the ship will never get righted. And you're right about Trev Alberts. What a search. I mean, I've seen Nebraska, a lot of places, there's leaks, there's this, there's that. And Trev handled it so professionally, and he's going to get it right. I mean, one way or another, he's going to get it right, and he is the man. And we just got to trust in it and get behind it. Thanks a lot,
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
That's a
Appreciate
great
it, buddy.
point.
Excellent point there.
Mike brought up something, and I did too. When I first heard of Rule was coming, I did what everybody does in today's world, and I Google searched him, and it showed an overall record of 125 and 132. I'm like, we hired this guy, so I'm like, well, all right. You know, I always say figures never lie, but liars can always figure. So I said, all right, let's do a little more in-depth research. As a head coach, Matt has been 57 and 67. Like, okay, still not that impressed at this point. Still a little more checking. As a college head coach, he was 47 and 44. I'm still thinking, well, all right, somebody knows more than I do here. So get looking at it. Like we talked before the show today, when you're a pro football coach, you got a lot less choices of who you get. I mean, he was stuck with a couple quarterbacks after Cam there in Charlotte that were, we'll just say, not good.
Right.
So yeah, obviously he had an abysmal. It was 10 and 23 at the Panthers. That was horrible. But when he is the head coach, the progression he's done has been phenomenal. I was looking at Temple, took it over 2 and 10 his first year. 6 and 6 his second, then 10 and 4 and 10 and 4. Took over Baylor 1 and 11, 7 and 6, 11 and 3. If there's not a person that, if he can continue that trend, he is exactly the right person in exactly the right spot.
And that's the biggest reason why I think they went after him so hard, is because he is a rebuilder. Folks that wanted the home run hires, I'm sorry, they just weren't coming here. Nebraska is not a destination for that yet. Now, let's say, and you know, people, well, you know, Rule has, you know, 4 years in Temple, 3 years in Baylor, he packs and leaves. Okay. What's he leaving them with when he leaves? So let's say hypothetically, you know, he leaves in 5 years. Hope it doesn't, but you know, so things happen, right? And Nebraska's a top 15 job. Well, now those coaches you went after that said no will be a lot more inclined to say yes, because it's no longer a rebuild. Now the program's established. Let's take it to the next level.
Yeah, that's a great point. I looked at that too back in the past. You know, this was 1999. There'd have been coaches lined up, you know, from here to Kansas City wanting the job. The highway would have been bumper to bumper. Just looking, Pelini left in 2012, and he was 67 and 27. I didn't even realize, I'd forgotten he'd done that well. This was still a place that had power, had potential, had draw, and then sadly, you know, we all know the history since then. So no, I think Rule was a perfect pick, the best Nebraska could do. And that sounds like a put down, and it's not. I think not only is the best they could do, but I think it was the best fit for them as well, of who was there.
And the best fit for Rule.
Yeah.
He openly came out and he was saying that Auburn courted him, and he turned him down because he wanted in Nebraska. When he was on ESPN yesterday, he said he talked to Coach Osborne and bucket list item, and you know, got his 2 cents. And everything he said, he was saying the right things. Now, Husker fans, we've been hoodwinked before. We've been duped. We've had people tell us what to listen to, and we've actually listened to them. So like I said, everything we do from now on here out is reaction is up to us. We control our own reactions. Moving into it, what do you feel, besides a punt returner, is the most important thing Rule needs to change for this program? Because good God, I'm sick of fair catching all the time.
I'm like any coach. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to keep Mickey, it'd be nice to keep some people, but I don't know if that's the answer. I think it's offensive coordinator. I think it's defensive coordinator. I think the big jobs have to flip.
Let's get into that a little bit. Pros and cons of keeping Mickey. Now Mickey has earned every right to stay here and every right to go where he wants to go. He has done it. Nebraska, you know, Mickey hasn't only just been good for Nebraska. Nebraska's been very good to Mickey. Sure. Nebraska, giving Mickey this opportunity, really opened other people's eyes as to what kind of leader he could be. If he stays on this staff, which I hope he does, it's excellent for continuity. It's excellent to make sure that it's not 100% rebuild, because you don't want 100% rebuild. If we can do a 25 to 50% rebuild, great. If it has to go back to 100% rebuild, Husker fans, be ready, right? There might be that, 3 or 4 win season again next year. But historically, he has shown he can get it quick moved around quickly.
He has done that. Now that'd be a good question, and I didn't check into that. At Temple, at Baylor, did he flush and dump? Did he take everybody out and bring all the new in? I don't know if I know the answer to that.
Well, in Baylor was the blank show that Bryles had going on there when they were under the NCAA national sanctions.
Oh.
So I believe they said that there was 30 recruits when he came into Baylor that were under Bryles, and 29 of them left.
Yeah, I think he had 45 scholarships that first year, something like that.
Something
Like,
absolutely ridiculous.
Basically cut in half. Yeah.
And then, Aranda took over, which good for him. But that's Whipple's, or that's not Whipple. That's Rule's guys.
Yeah. My opinion, if I was Mickey, I would take this win we just talked about at Iowa. I would take the high of stamping those losing streaks. I think he's put enough credit in his pocket, enough pluses on his resume. I'd leave. I'd go somewhere else.
But if there's no Power 5 offering and it's only a group of 5, do you do that?
It would definitely depend on the offer I'm given. Am I allowed to head coach at Division II that's decent? I'd probably go do that. But then, I don't wake up at his house every morning. I don't know what if he likes his neighbors. I don't know if his kids love their school system. I have no idea. So it's easy for me to sit here and decide. But I know in my mind, my career choices over the years, I think I'd run my show somewhere. I've proven I can keep and or improve a Division I team. I'm very well liked. There's nothing negative in my closet hanging there. I at least throw the lines out there, a lot of lines out there, to see what they'll give me.
Now, let me ask you this. Let's say, hypothetically, if Trev talked to Matt Rule and said, we want you here, we're going to give you what you want, but there's one condition. You have to keep Mickey on staff. Therefore, you don't get to pick your 100% your own guys. You have to keep one of ours on your staff. Do you think that's a good look? Or do you think Trev should be like, you know what, we're giving it to you. We're giving you the keys to the Cadillac. Make sure it runs.
Well, I can only use my own thoughts here. When I came to Lincoln and took over the office at Lincoln, I was 95% given the reins, and the couple that were left didn't pan out very well. Unfortunately, didn't fit the custom. That's why I should say there's nothing wrong with the people. Didn't fit the system that we had in place. So I'm sure there's a lot of ego involved and a lot of things we don't know. That's a good question. If Trev would do that, if to be told something is tough, that, and in our job, we are independent. We are our own bosses. We're used to that. Maybe they're not so much. I as a head coach would hate to come in with that. Can I keep him? You bet, if I want to.
Right.
That I think, and again, we don't know. It's all speculation. We weren't there, but I would much rather be asked than told.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I agree 100% with that.
It's like you said, these are all hypotheticals. We
Right.
weren't there. We don't know. But it's an interesting situation because of the various power dynamics at play there. Matt Rule doesn't have to take anything he's offered at this point because he does still have that $40 million safety net to fall back on, right? So he's only going to go into a situation that he's 100% comfortable with.
Great point.
So if he were in a situation where they said you have to keep Mickey Joseph, he's on board with that, right? Or else he's not taking the job.
Sure. That's right. He has the luxury to, if he plays his cards right, and I even know people would help him invest that money, Jay. Man would never have to work again. So that's a great point. I'm sure he was given, for the most part, a blank checkbook and said, here, take it and do what you want to do.
Paint your own canvas kind of thing.
I hope so.
Time will tell. We'll see.
Right.
Press conference tomorrow is at 1:30 at the Hawk Center. Now, what's really cool, and like I said, there's rumors and all this kind of fun stuff going on. 2 weeks ago, one of our coworkers, Mark, comes up to me. And I think I told you this as well. His son is a production and entertainment professional. And he came up to me 2 weeks ago and he said, Jay, in 2 weeks, my son got booked out for Hawks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
He said he didn't know why.
Didn't
He
know
wasn't giving
specifics.
specifics. He was just basically giving money, saying, "All right, I need you to go ahead and do this entertainment on this day
Right.
for the Hawk Center."
Produce something
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Monday.
Golly,
Okay.
what could that be?
So running through my head, that eliminated a bunch of coaches that we would. So Kleinman, Fickle,
Yeah.
that eliminated a bunch of them right there. And so, yeah, when he told me about 2 weeks ago that that was happening, I thought, all right, this is going to be kind of cool. It's going to be kind of neat. So it's going to be a big show. So Hawk Center on Monday. Expect almost a party. Atmosphere.
I think going into it, yeah, I think it should, and it should exactly is what that should be, Jay, is a party atmosphere. Looking again at the coaches' records, like I did investigating Rule, like Scott Frost had 2 years at UCF, and granted, one of them was phenomenal, but had he not been named Scott Frost, would he have been here? Would Nebraska have hired a person with that little of experience? Had his name been Fred Smith? Probably not. So I think this is a really good in-depth search for a coach. Obviously, I'm sure they put hours and hours in and probably fights and everything else. But it should be a party. If you had me rank it on an A to F scale, like in school, I'd say for sure an A- for sure.
I was just looking it up the other day. The coaches that were hired in 2018. Have you seen that? So Frost pool of coaches when they were hired was amazing. So Frost, of course, took over Nebraska. Dan Mullen took over Florida. How's he doing now? Not that great. Continuing on, Chip Kelly went to UCLA. That worked out well.
Yep.
Jimbo's at A&M. Maybe saved his job yesterday.
Right.
Willie Taggart went to Florida State. No longer there.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on. Joe Moorhead went to Mississippi State. He's no longer there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hit and miss. I mean, Arkansas, right? They took God, who was that guy's name? Chad Morris. And then Kevin Sumlin went to A&M. I'm sorry, Arizona. Someone to Arizona.
Well, like we were saying before the show, if you're a coach, man, don't buy a house. You're buy a mobile home.
If you're
RV.
And I think the biggest thing that happens with all those, right? Are they more invested in the money or the program? Are they more invested in being where they want to be, or is the only reason they're going there is because the large amount of money they're
It's a
getting?
paycheck. And you wonder that a lot of times. That's a good point. And Mark brought up a great point. Matt Rule has 40 million reasons not to come here. So I gotta think he was handed it and said, what would you like from us? And hopefully it works. I mean, obviously it's been since Pelini that Nebraska's had a Legends champ in 2012. And again, looking on the Google, absolutely that column was blank since 2012. In 10 years and in a team like this, a town like this, that's, that would have never, ever happened. I don't care if it was 1910 or 2010.
It comes down from the top, though. It's all leadership. So you have to have everybody on board who is seeing the same vision and want to go in the same direction. And if one of those people is not seeing where you want to go or where the other group is going, it falls off the track very easily.
Yeah.
Very, very, very easily.
I hope the fans give Rule the same, leverage at the same time as Frost. I mean, there were still people saying that they didn't give Frost enough time. I think they did. That's my opinion. But I hope they don't expect this guy. And I think Scott Frost was painted a little bit behind the corner is because, it's Scott Frost. He's going to come in and we're going to be national champions again. I'll give him 2 years and he'll win. And that's not going to happen anywhere. And it's certainly not going to happen again with Rule. But I hope they give him enough time to make it his team. I mean, although, man, again, looking at his record, year 3 seems to be a heck of a year for him. So, but he's got 8 years here to do it, maybe. But I hope they give it to him. Hope they lighten up on him and let him run.
Changing the culture is not an easy thing to do. Mickey did that tremendously, putting out a bunch of fires that were started. Kids mentally were beat down from years and years of the same thing happening. So to have that going in his favor, I think has to be another thing that he looked at coming in here saying, all right, the program looks to be moving forward, even though the wins on paper aren't showing it. They're fighting. They're in every game. They're just losing at the very end. If I can come in and instill a way to finish, if I can come in and instill a way to get the job done late, then this thing can be a massive turnaround quickly. I truly, truly believe that. Now, Husker fans, be cautious as well. Do not be expecting national championship or college football playoffs in the next 5 years.
Right.
Be realistic. I mean, if I was to tell you in 5 years from now, Nebraska is winning 9 or 10 games, who would say no to that?
Right now, that's for sure.
It's got to start. You've got to start hitting your goals to get to the top of the mountain. First goals is you've got to take out the Big Ten West. So when Rule comes in there, he's got an eye team in the Big Ten West saying, okay, I got to get my team to beat them every year. Who would that team be, Todd?
Wow, this year it could be anybody. It's the holy smokes, it's not a strong, but I'd say something like a Wisconsin. I'd say that'd be a good target. They usually are consistent. I'm sure they'll have a coaching shake up a little bit. I'd go Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think Leonard's going to clean house in there with his coaches and bring in his guys. I don't see Wisconsin having a massive drop off, so I would say the same thing. Illinois, I think, is a 1 year kind of thing going on right now, kind of like a TCU. Enjoying it while it lasts, but the powerhouses are coming back. So that'd be interesting. I'd say I give you Wisconsin as well, and then shortly after that would be Minnesota. As much as I can't stand it, but
they are looking pretty strong this year.
PJ Fleck has his team doing what they do every single year.
Yeah.
And again, if you can say Nebraska can win a minimum of 8 wins a year, we'll take that.
Yeah,
we'll definitely take that.
At this point, we'll go to whatever bowl they tell us, right?
Absolutely. If you want to call in, Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. You're listening to the American Senior Benefits Family Hour. Todd, how can they find us on Facebook?
They can find us at American Senior Benefits Lincoln. They can give us a call, 402-614-9292.
We'll be right back.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
I'm dreaming of
winning thousands of dollars,
just like the ones
the Nebraska Lottery is giving away.
May your days be merry and bright
when you enter the Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion.
And may all your holidays
be filled with lots and lots of cash.
I'm dreaming of
entering non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Wishes scratch tickets,
just like the ones
you can find at any Nebraska Lottery retailer.
May your days be merry and bright.
How could they not, with chances to win $1,000, $5,000, or even $10,000?
And may all your Christmases be
green.
There are 2 drawings for winners, so visit your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer today. Buy some tickets and enter our Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion. Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
This is Todd Riley with American Senior Benefits. If you qualify for Medicare, then you're probably getting bombarded with information right now about different options during the annual election period. It can all be incredibly overwhelming.
we're here to help. The experts at American Senior Benefits can help you navigate all of your options and make the best decision for you. You can reach out via our Facebook page, American Senior Benefits Lincoln, or call me directly at 402-413-9510. Let us help you make an informed decision at American Senior Benefits.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is having a hire event this Friday, December 2nd and Saturday, December 3rd. Stop by between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday or from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday to learn more about their opportunities for your next career. Interviews will be conducted both days. Wages grow up to $20 per hour. Make plans to attend Friday or Saturday at 12851 Dover Street in Waverly. And if you can't make it, you can always apply at tractorsupply.jobs or text Tractor DC to 25000. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Back to the Family Hour, brought to you by American Senior Benefits on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the American Senior Benefits Family Hour alongside Todd Riley. I am Jay Stoll. Mark Onweill is man of the machine here. Now, Todd, transitioning a little bit to our specialty. New things are happening for Husker fans. New things are happening for the Nebraska football program. New things moving forward, which is excellent. But certain seasons are coming to an end as well. What's coming to an end?
Well, unfortunately, Nebraska football, but also annual election period. December 7th is their last chance for folks to change their drug plans, change their Medicare Advantage plans, take a look at drug plans, take a look at Medicare Advantage plans. So it's such a busy time for us, Jay, as you know. We're punching, as we say, from dark to dark. Although it gets dark at 4:30 now, but we're it's later than that when we normally get home during this time of year. 6 days a week, 7 days a week. But it goes so fast. A couple years ago the government changed it. We used to have till December 31st, and a couple years back they made it December 7th, which definitely crunches our timeline. But folks, if there's something you want to ask, if there's something you want us to review, if it's anything you want us to review, please, you've only got less than 2 weeks now. Give us a call, 402-614-9292, or Facebook, American Senior Benefits Lincoln, and let us review that. We want to make sure it gets in. We want to make sure that the company has it correctly, and we're running out of time.
Yeah, the clock is ticking, unfortunately, and that's not us telling you that. That is, unfortunately, the United States government telling you that.
I'm from the government. I'm here to help.
From the government. Now,
I'm not from the government.
What do you tell folks who are getting cards in the mail from certain companies saying, call this number to activate, and they're confused? I mean, they didn't order this card, but it shows up. What do we do in that situation?
That's a good question. And I hear every day from people, unfortunately, not only is their mailbox literally overflowing, they're getting 20, 30 calls a day. They're seeing TV commercial. Every third commercial is one of the old former movie stars or old athlete telling them to call a number and promising them the sun and the moon. not knowing that every zip code's different, every county's different. What Joe Namath tells you on TV may not be available in your area at all. Check my zip code. Check my zip code. We're right here in Lincoln. We're right here in Kearney. We're right here in Omaha. We have an office in all those places, right here in Shenandoah. Give us a call. This is where we live. This is what we do. We know exactly what's available. We're not licensed with every plan, but man, we've got a lot of them. We know what's available. We know what works best. We know what the doctors take and don't take. That's one we hear, unfortunately, Jay, every single January and February. I get a call from somebody that said, hey, I called that 800 number like you just talked about, Jay, and they talked me into this plan. Now I find out my doctor doesn't take it. What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And with us, that doesn't happen. We'll look up your doctors. We know who takes what in this area. Again, putting people back in the people business. That's our tagline, whether you work for us or work with us. We're here to help you. And we know what's available. We know who takes what. Just give us a call. Let us help you.
Now, as promised last week, we are the experts here. We are going to drop some nuggets on you. So if you're listening and your parents are on Medicare or you yourself is on Medicare, you want to pay attention to this. There's advertisements coming in the mail that say how to get all of your Part B back. Todd, what does that really mean? Who can get that? Who cannot get that? Let's help people out.
That's a great one, because that has been the flavor of the year this year for commercials, is get money back on your Social Security, get back money on your Social Security. Number one, for a lot of that, to get all of your money back, you have to be on Medicaid.
So Medicaid and Medicare, correct?
Correct.
And majority of people are not on both of those.
That's for the financially indigent that can get Medicaid.
So then you can't get that Social Security back.
Not probably 100%. There are plans that do offer $25 a month back, $50 a month, $100 a month back. But what you give up in return for those is a prescription drug plan. Those plans normally do not offer a prescription drug benefit. So people will, and sadly, just because, again, it's all new, it's all confusing to them. They'll say, well, then I'll just pick up a separate drug plan. Well, they can't with most of those plans. One knocks out the other. So you've got a person on, and I know I'm going to get a call in January and February from poor people that did take one of those plans. I got $50 a month back on my Social Security. Oh, but I take 8 medications that are now cost me $300 a month that used to cost me $40 a month. Help. What do I do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, those are the advertisements going around. So if you get a piece of mail, or your parents get a piece of mail, and it says, call this number to get your Part B, which is going to be $165, to get all of your Part B back starting in January. If you're not on Medicaid, tear it up. Next, TV commercials. And there's very popular ones saying the same thing. And I did some research on this one. How to get all of your Part B back. And there's a TV commercial going around that you call this number, right? And you can see if you can. Well, I've actually called it and I've done some research. There is a little small community in Georgia, and I can't give names specific, but there's a small community in Georgia that the mayor has paid for all the residents in this small town have their Part B covered.
No kidding.
Yes. So these insurance companies found out about this, gave mayor said money to say, can we use this for advertising purposes? You want to talk about unethical. So when you see that TV commercial, and everybody knows what I'm talking about, saying how, and it's a very prominent figure saying how you can get all of your Part B back, you have to live in this small little town in Georgia. So when you call this number, their first thing they're going to say is, hey, do you live in this town in Georgia? No, I live here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Oh, I'm so sorry, you don't qualify for this. Hang on, we're going to patch you through to an agent to see what we can do for you.
Yeah. And then that's when they'd say, well, we can't get you 165 back, but we can get you 50 back or 100 back, not even checking the doctors or checking the drugs. That's I have said that for years to people. There are plans that offer those benefits. There has to be, or they couldn't do it by law.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't say it. But I always joke there's probably a little county in Maine. Well, now I know there's a little county in Georgia.
Georgia. Always in Georgia. If you have questions about Medicare, your parents are on it, give us a call, 402-464-5685. We can answer anything you need to know. Moving on. Man, $9.95 life insurance sounds really, really good, doesn't it? I tell you what is it? $10 per $1,000 of coverage, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other one we do see a lot or per unit. There's a famous company that says it's $4.99 a unit. Well, what do you think when you hear a unit? You think $1,000. But it's completely based on your age. If you're 45, it might be $1,000 is a unit, but if you're 75, it might be $250 as a unit. So it deceptive might be a little strong of a word, but it's not very clear what a unit is when that commercial comes across.
And you want to know why people are kind of side-eyeing us when we talk to them is because we get put in that category of all this other crap and negative advertisements and hoodwinking. But it comes with the territory. And I've told people, I'm like, look, I know that you see this all the time, but I'm damn proud of what I do. I worked very hard. It's very hard to attain a license in this industry. And I've done that. So when I have people that actually have said, hey, are you a scammer or you do this, that, and the other? I tell them, look, I don't appreciate that at all. I do not come and judge you on what you do for your living. You don't judge me. And when we stand our ground, because we know what the truth is and we know what falsity is. And that's why, like I said, these folks are just bombarded at this time. So if they're confused, if they need questions, or if they just have a misunderstanding, what can they do, Todd?
That's what we're here for. Because we always say, if we can't help you, we're sure not going to hurt you. Look us up, American Senior Benefits Lincoln on Facebook, 402-614-9292. You can call us. Clear back, it's been like 20 years ago now. I remember reading the Chicago Tribune did a study of the most trusted professions to people and the least trusted professions. And I won't get the numbers exactly right, but I'll be close. Like the number 8 least trusted profession was insurance agent, but the number 2 most trusted was personal insurance agent. So in other words, as a whole, and it's because of those commercials, it's because of the people that call me in January and say, oh my goodness, they didn't tell me I lost my drug coverage. They didn't tell me my doctor wasn't accepted. That's why it is the 8th least trusted. But once they get a person, once they get a real human being, that and we're old fashioned folks, we'll still come to you. It used to be your doctor made house calls, your banker made house calls. We're about the last people that still make house calls. You're welcome to come to our office, obviously, but we would be very tickled to sit across from your kitchen table with you and discuss it. And that's why I think, again, your personal insurance agent is the second most trusted person in your life.
Now, if you're listening right now and you take care of your mom and dad's health insurance, you take care of their Medicare, it's important to really review that and understand what's going on. I mean, I know a lot of, folks go on the internet and learn quickly, they Google stuff quickly and say, okay, this is what's going to be best for mom and dad. I know, I've done my research. You can call us, call the experts, right? Put the humility aside, get the help that's going to make sure that mom and dad are in a good spot.
Right.
Because you don't want to be the reason why if something happens that they're on the hook for a lot, and eventually you could be on the hook as well.
Right. That's what we're here for. That's the reason we exist. 402-614-9292.
If you want to find us on Facebook, American Senior Benefits Lincoln. We will be right back after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Coppell Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Coppell, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Coppell Chevrolet GMC.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a Ready Next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is Todd Riley with American Senior Benefits. If you qualify for Medicare, then you're probably getting bombarded with information right now about different options during the annual election period. It can all be incredibly overwhelming. We're here to help. The experts at American Senior Benefits can help you navigate all of your options and make the best decision for you. You can reach out via our Facebook page, American Senior Benefits Lincoln, or call me directly at 402-413-9510. Let us help you make an informed decision at American Senior Benefits.
At Allo, we think you deserve the fiber things in life, like binging your favorite TV shows and movies buffer-free, next level, lag-free gaming, and video calls without frozen faces. So say goodbye to lag and buffering and hello to super fast fiber internet with dedicated 24/7 support for total peace of mind. Plus, no hidden fees, no expiration dates, and no contracts, ever. From dependable service to exceptional support, experience the fiber things with Allo. Go to allofiber.com/fiberthings and switch today.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Life is too short to constantly be in pain and do nothing about it. Why not get a massage to ease your body pains away? The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. Interested in a couples massage? The Body Shop offers those too in 1 hour or 90-minute increments. Book your appointment today or get ahead on gift giving with a gift certificate at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to the Family Hour, brought to you by American Senior Benefits on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the American Senior Benefits Family Hour, segment 3. Alongside Todd Riley, I'm Jay Stoll. Mark Onweiler is running the board today.
Doing a magic job.
Just a magic job. Magic job. Looking thin and fit as
You
well.
are much too kind on that.
Good
Morris.
God.
I appreciate it, guys.
I tell you what, I brush my teeth, my belly still jiggles, so I think that's got to be an issue I got to work on.
If you want to stick around for Fitness Fanatics at 9 o'clock, they can
There
help
you
you
go.
out.
I bet they can help us out, right?
I just get tired walking, standing in and out of the chair. I get tired doing that. So if I sit around for the Fitness Fanatics, I'll probably cramp up.
Boy, hammy.
All right, Todd. So last week we announced we're hiring to open the doors, giving some folks chances to come join the wonderful world of what we do. Got a couple good applicants, hired one of them, which is great.
We did.
Moving forward for January, what's your vision for American Senior Benefits, and where do you see this going?
We still have a lot of room to grow in Lincoln and Kearney. A lot of opportunity if a person wants to be their own boss. I've said forever, when you join American Senior Benefits, you are your own person. You build your own business, but you build it with a team, and you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And that's really a beautiful thing. We're a hybrid in the industry. And what I mean by that, most insurance companies are either what's called a captive, where you have one company, one product to show. But the advantages are the training's provided. Usually the office rent's paid for, the leads are paid for. The other side of that spectrum is an independent agency where you might have 200 companies to show, but man, you're on your own. Any expense is yours and leads. If you get training, maybe it's via webinar or something like that. At American Senior Benefits, we're a hybrid between the two. The office rent's paid for, the utilities are paid for, a lot of the leads are paid for. There's fantastic training, but we still have 200 companies that we can show people. So it's a super, super opportunity to be your own boss, to set your schedule, to finally achieve things that you want to achieve. my opinion, the greatest trainer of all times is a guy by the name of Tom Hopkins. And he always said, the more guarantees that a company gives you, the less true financial freedom you'll ever have. And at American Senior Benefits, it's nothing here to make $100,000 a year. We have people doubling, tripling, quadrupling, whatever 6 times is that. Jay, you're a success story at American Senior Benefits in a very short time. You knocked it out of the park. What are some things you like about it, buddy?
I love the fact that I'm no longer the peon. And what I mean by that is when you have certain jobs where you have a boss over top to you that tells you what you have to do in and out. The fact that I was going to work every day from 8 to 5 and I knew exactly what my day was going to consist of. To a lot of people, that's relaxing and that's safety. I didn't like that. I needed to grow. I needed to expand, get out of my own lane, if you will. I hated having someone tell me I was worth 1 to 3% every single year when I knew I was worth more. And I knew I was making a lot more for them to have a good life that I wasn't having because I was working so hard for somebody else. I wanted to be rewarded for my efforts. And I'm a true believer. Is the effort and the attitude that you put out, the acclamations and the reward you'll get back. And like I said, for myself, I started making 6 figures in 2 years. I never thought I could do that at all, ever. Just qualified this week going to Marco Island, and we still got 10 more weeks for the contest to go. And all it is just getting in front of people and helping them and educating them, because the folks that we talk to, again, they're over 65. They're scared. They're fearful. They don't know what the ads mean. They don't know if they have the right insurance. They don't know if they have the best coverage. They don't know if their son or daughter has put them in the best plan. So to put those fears aside for them to go in there and tell them, hey, Betty, I just reviewed everything. Your daughter did a great job for you. You should be very proud. Don't change a thing.
Right. Let me ask you this. In addition to the money, you having fun?
Damn right I am. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a blast. I mean, we have our whiskey at 8:30 in the morning on Friday, right? This week, let me ask you this last week, I needed to take off 4 days to help out a family member. I told you 2 hours in advance. Did you have a problem with that?
No, that's the neat thing too. I said the work-life balance here can be fantastic. And yeah, your dad got sick. You had to help him out. And I said, go do it, man. And we made it all work. We covered where we needed covered, and we're always about that. Put your priorities first. And man, good things happen. We try very, very hard to have a fantastic work environment in Lincoln. We have a lot of fun, work hard and play hard, but it's not the cutthroat. It's not stabbing each other in the back. We try so very hard to have no office politics, no backstabbing. We have a lot of fun, make a lot of money doing it, make a lot of money helping people. That's the best of all worlds to me, Jay.
Give me a call if you have questions. 402-318-6298. I can help answer anything for you. Todd, how can people get a hold of you?
If they want a career here, be their own boss, call Joyce Ann at 402-413-9846 or American Senior Benefits Lincoln on Facebook.
Mark, you're the man. Thank you for coming in this morning, man. Excellent time.
Always fun.
This was a blast. We'll see you next time on the American Senior Benefits Family Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
These days, there are more reasons than ever to treat yourself to a great haircut at Great Clips with the online check-in app. So tell us, why do you check in?
I check in because I'm tired of hat hair. I check in because we all need a cut.